Hi YouTube, this is Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com, and today I'm going to show you how I tint my eyebrows at home. It is very easy and pretty cheap. Social isolation aside, I always tint my eyebrows myself. A few years ago I went in to get my threading, which is something that I get done maybe once every couple months, and then in between I just maintain myself with tweezers. And at that time I asked them to get my eyebrows tinted. And after watching them do it, and after watching a few other people at the salon getting the tint done, I thought this is very easy and I can do it myself for about 1/10 of the cost, as it turns out. I always use the same brand. This is not Korean, but there are other ones I think that are on the market, and if you have a good recommendation for some other brand, leave me a comment in the comment section. This is the one I've been using. It's a KBeautyHobbit tint kit for spot coloring, and I buy the dark brown kind. One of these contains 20 color capsules. They look like these. And then there's a developer inside, the nice big caution label. And then it has a little mixing bowl and a little brush in the kit. I've tried other kits by the same brand that came with a gel and some other mediums of color, but the ones with the little capsules is what I prefer, and that's what I typically buy. So all I need once a month or every 6 weeks is one capsule. So this is enough for 20 uses for me, which is way over a year. To prep the eyebrows, all you have to do is make sure they're clean and dry, free of oil and makeup and anything else that could have gotten on them that will prevent the hair dye getting to the actual eyebrow hairs. To prepare the dye itself, you empty one of the capsules into the provided cup and then do a generous squeeze of the developer. And it's hard to show you without making a mess, but hopefully you can see. I just eyeball it, I don't measure the developer. And then mix with a little brush that is provided. The first few times when I've done my tinting at home, I would use a thick layer of some sort of very rich moisturizer, even something like an Aquaphor, which is a petroleum-based ointment, and I applied it all around the eyebrows, not on the hairs, but just around, in case dye got there. I didn't want to color my eyelids or any skin around. But now that I've done this for several years, I think it's been at least 4 years that I've done the tinting myself, I don't use that anymore. I am pretty confident that I can stay within the lines, so to speak, when applying dye. But if you're nervous the very first time or the first few times, or always, whatever works for you, do apply with a Q-tip a good generous amount of cream or lotion or something to protect your skin. Similar way that you would apply something around here if you were doing a hair color at home. One more thing that I do is I take a clean spoolie brush. It's just like a mascara spoolie. I bought a whole bag of just these clean wands on Amazon, I think, and I just brush the hair a little bit. And the reason I do that is just to actually see what my eyebrow shape is. You can use a little eyebrow comb if that's what you prefer. Okay, so now that I'm ready and I mixed up my developer and the little capsule contents, and you do have to break the capsule open or cut it open and dump the inside. Okay, now I'm ready to apply. And I'm going to look off camera a little bit because I need to look in the mirror when I'm applying it. But I think you'll still be able to see just fine. So I start usually from the middle and go down. And there's really no reason why. I just got into a habit of doing it that way. I think it all started with, I have this product for my eyebrows. It's a makeup product called Wonder Brow. And in the description and the instructions there, it says to start applying from the middle down and then get the front. And I just got into a habit of doing that. Do try to get this on quickly so that the time that the dye stays on both of your eyebrows is even. If you take 10 minutes to apply the dye to the first eyebrow and then apply it to the second one and then start your timer, you might have quite uneven results. So, trying to get all the little hairs here. And again, this color is dark brown, but the dye actually comes in different colors. I think they have a light and a medium, brown and then probably a black as well. Okay, now everything is on. I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes. I'm just going to use my watch. You use whatever you like. Okay, while the timer is going, I'm just going to go through and make sure I got all the little spots and didn't miss anything. There's definitely way more than enough dye here for 2 eyebrows, but there's no way to save it, so. And I don't feel like opening a capsule and only using part of it and then trying to save the rest. This stuff is not very expensive at all, so I don't think that sort of frugality is really warranted. However, if you want to do this together with somebody, as long as you do it hygienically and use your own little mixing bowls and separate brushes, you could probably make it into a party. Probably not right now, not during social isolation, unless you're already living together. But you could go ahead and do this with somebody else. There's definitely plenty of color. This is what I have left. Let's see if you can see it in my little cup after doing both eyebrows. You might be wondering why it's exactly 2 minutes. The instructions say something different, and I can't remember now, but the 2-minute time I got through trial and error. So the very first time I did it for a minute, then I washed it off as it says, then I looked at it and it was too light, so I applied more dye for another minute, and kind of through trial and error I figured out that for me, with this dark brown color, 2 minutes is perfect. They do start out looking quite a bit darker than my normal eyebrows, so at first it's like, whoa, these are pretty dark. But A, they lighten up when they dry, and B, in a week or so they lighten up. So you might want to start with slightly darker than what your ideal is, because they will fade a bit. So if I start with my ideal color, then in a week or 2 it will be too faded. So I like this to last me about 4 weeks. Okay, my timer's going off. I'm going to take a little wet wipe, just a baby wipe. That's just what I have laying around. You can definitely just go in with water, but I actually prefer wipes because I feel like it's more controlled way of taking it off. And I take off the eyebrow that I did first. That's the one I take off first, or take off the dye, and then the other one. So, washing this off just with soap and water in the sink is definitely an option. However, you do run a risk of it running into your eyes. And what I usually do is I do a wet wipe, and then later, I usually do this in the evening anyway, at home on a weekend or sometime when I have a day off or don't have much going on. And so then pretty close to when I do this is when I would do my evening routine anyway, so then I take extra good care to wash off my face, make sure nothing is left behind. This is what they look like. You can probably see they're darker. I do not have the world's best light in this bathroom, I apologize. I will take pictures though of the before and the after, and I'll put them up here somewhere, pictures in better light. Now, the last thing I'm going to do, and this is not something I normally do at home myself, but because right now no salons are open, I am going to trim all of these uneven hairs. Do you see that sticking up right there? And this right here? Okay. So what I'm going to use for that are these Appew eyebrow scissors. If you've been following my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, and this channel, you might be saying, Lucy, this was in your fails video. And it was. These scissors have a little comb in them. And the first time that I used them, I took out a huge chunk of my eyebrow and I swore I will never use them again. However, thank you COVID, we do not have any other options right now as far as getting eyebrows done other than DIY. So I figured out that taking the comb off actually makes these scissors really awesome. So now that I combed it up, and hopefully you can see, I do have to look in the mirror, I'm going to take this flat side, see how the blades are different? So I'm going to take this one that's flat and kind of run it very close to my skin, and then just close, and then do the same on the other side. You have to comb this up a little bit more again, just to make all of the uneven hairs stick out. Okay. maybe a little bit more here. Okay. That is it. As far as extra eyebrows, mine are super, super wide. They grow all the way down here and very high up here. And I am usually able to tweeze them just fine between threadings. Of course, after several months, I do lose the shape. I lose the nice arch that the people at the threading salon give me. But for right now, this is the best I can do. If you're watching this and you have an opportunity to go get your eyebrows professionally shaped and you just want to do the tinting, my suggestion would be to tint them first at home and then go get your eyebrows threaded or waxed or whatever you do. Or get them threaded, waxed, shaped, whatever it is you're going to do, and then wait a week and then tint. What you don't want to do is get them threaded or waxed and then tint them the same day. All of that skin that is involved in the threading or waxing is going to be very raw. It is going to be more prone to irritation and more prone to a bad reaction. So you definitely don't want to be coloring it. It would be like trying to put hair dye on top of an open wound. And I know it's not as dramatic. Usually we don't bleed when there's threading, but it's still trauma to the skin. It's still warm and raw to the touch. The pores are still more open, or not more open, but the skin is more exposed to the external factors. So do not tint it right after threading. Do it either before or wait in between. That would be my best advice. Hopefully this video was useful to you. Let me know in the comments what you do. Are you doing anything special right now? Do you normally go get your eyebrows done and tinted? What about your hair? Do you normally go get it colored? And if so, what are you doing right now? Are you just letting it be? Are you coloring it? I do my own hair at home with henna. I have considered doing a video about that, and I might. Maybe I'll just let it go, I don't know. But if I just let it go, again, I normally do it myself anyway, but if I just let it grow out during this quarantine, I think it's going to look pretty crazy on videos because my hair is very light and blonde and I color it pretty deep red. Thank you very much for watching. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, on Facebook at the group Korean Beauty Fanatics. I hope this was useful to you and I hope you're having a wonderful week. I will see you next Saturday. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much.